Good morning, everybody. You are tuned in to Crag Core once again. And here I go again, rambling and prattling on and giving you my opinion on the current affairs. Now, in my opinion, the world's a beautiful place. Nature is fantastic. Birds singing in the trees, the wind blowing, the rain falling, hitting against the window. It's all natural beauty. And then you go on Facebook, you go on Twitter, any social media platform at the minute, and you see idiots like Piers Morgan putting out statements that basically are intended to bully and coerce the public into following the mainstream narrative and what it is that they want you to do. Now, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to, first of all, bully anybody into doing something if it's for their own good, because people will accept and realise that and therefore do it for themselves. And also, as a second point, why are they allowed to be doing this? You know, anybody that goes against the mainstream narrative at the minute is being censored on social media. Censored, they're having their videos taken down off YouTube for all kinds of flimsy reasons. But they don't give you an actual way of combating it. Their decision is final. No matter what story or no matter what reason you've got, they're taking it down. They've already made their decision. But these people, these idiots like Piers Morgan and other people in influential positions, are being given the platform, therefore, to put out this hateful, bullying agenda narrative, which is absolutely disgusting. And that goes to show you what's going on, what's allowed to be seen and what isn't. Now, I'm sure there's something illegal going on, because to use a position of power to coerce people into doing something that they don't want to do and taking away their rights until they do it, taking away their right now to go and do their shopping until they do as they're told. That is fucking downright tyranny. And if nobody can see that, then I'm sorry, but you need to open your eyes, man. You need to give your face a wash with some ice cold water and wake yourself up, because what's going on isn't fair. It's not right. And we are turning into a submissive population. A population that doesn't question is a very, very dangerous population, because ultimately they are going to be leading everybody down a path that isn't good for anybody. Okay? Questioning things is healthy. Okay? It's a healthy thing to do. But you see, that questioning power, the power to question things, is being taken away, because now you're being put into a bracket and being called a COVID denier because you dare to question the narrative. Okay, you dare to hold up your hand and say, whoa, wait a minute, mate, this don't seem right. That's all we're doing. So if you haven't seen this post by Piers Morgan, please allow me to paraphrase for a second. It basically states that COVID passports need to be put in place to restrict people's lives to such a degree that they have to have their bluffs called in order to therefore be bullied into taking the vaccine and then go along with this COVID passport scheme. It's a dangerous world. It's a very, very dangerous world, and it's insane. It's utter insanity. It shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed. You know, these people are in positions of influence, and they shouldn't be allowed to use that influential position to bully the public out of questioning a clear, abject, tyrannical regime. Think about it. Just think about it for a minute. If the numbers that this tyrannical regime was being brought in for, if these numbers tallied up, there wasn't any clear bolstering of the numbers, if everything was above board and it seemed correct, then nobody'd have a problem. But just remember, the only reason people have got a problem with it is because they are able to see that there is an amount of bollocks going on within the narrative that is being pushed on people. Okay? You know, in a court of law, when you have you can cast reasonable doubt on any situation. All it needs is a small amount of reasonable doubt, and things are thrown out. It's not allowed as evidence. Well, I dare say that there is a massive amount of reasonable doubt cast upon all of this evidence that is being pushed upon us, and therefore it shouldn't be allowed to be presented in a case against us, because we are the people. And let me fucking tell you right now, there is absolutely no doubt that we are in a war, a battle for our free will, for our freedom. And that needs to be acknowledged, because if we don't acknowledge that, well, then we're going to lose. And what happens when you lose a court case? Well, you go to fucking prison. And look what's being put up all around the place. These bits of information saying, I mean, for instance, the latest COVID Act states clearly, go and look it up on the government website, it clearly states that if you are suspected to be infectious, it doesn't matter whether you are or not, if you are suspected to be infected, they can take you from your home, they can take you from your place of work, anywhere that you are, they can remove you and take you to a place for monitoring and treatment. Now, this is now law. So, these things are being set up ready for something. Believe you me, these things aren't being put in place for no reason whatsoever. Okay? So they're trying to take away your free will. And unless we fight back, unless we educate ourselves and have the absolute bollocks to stand up against it, against all adversity, against the naysayers, against these fucking idiots like Piers Morgan, unless we fight back against this shit, then we're all going to end up in one of these places for monitoring and treatment. And what does that sound like? Well, let's just have another look at it. You're going to have to produce papers to do anything. They're able to take away people that are obvious deniers or obvious defiers of this regime. They're allowed to then take you to a place for monitoring and treatment. Well, let's just take it back to the Nazis. And believe you me, I'm no anti-Semite. Okay? I'm just looking at things, one in one hand and one in the other. You know? And when it starts to match up, when you start to see coincidences, you have to acknowledge it. The Nazis had a paper system, and they also had what were called concentration camps, where people were taken for re-education. Okay? Work will set you free. Well, in this case, it's more like submission will set you free. Acquiescence will set you free. Okay? Compliance will set you free. We're reaching a point in our history as humankind that is starting to become a point of no return. We need to acknowledge that we are in a war. We are in a battle for our own freedom. And unless we fight back, we're fucked. In the plainest terms possible, we are fucked. Now then, I feel as I've said enough. Please do your research. Please look into these things. Look into who funds all of these companies, who's got shares in them, who is set to gain from this agenda. Because believe you me, that's what's this driving force behind it. And we're just the cost. You know, we're just the pawns in the game. We're expendable. Now, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. This is Cragcore, signing off. Have a great day.